Oh, Facebook, YouTube, outlets around the world. This is going to be a spectacular one, okay? Woo! I'm out here in the not so sunny Florida as this mini hurricane comes by, giving us all this good rain. I'm out here outside in it, you know what I'm saying, delivering the message, being about my father's plan. Of course, when I say father, I'm about the creator, the it could be a mother, could be all that. So I don't differentiate either way. Oh, let me tell you who we got. Oh, Lord, I ain't seen this blessed face in so long. Ooh, girl, we going down the rabbit hole tonight. Oh, you might have jumped on the right one tonight, today. Let me tell you. The next key that I'm about to break down, love, is going to break down all the questions that anybody has about anything when it's dealing with what's going on in the upper verse. This next one is going to be all that. But before we even get there, this is Miss Desi. Say something for the people's Miss Love.
Hello, hi. I'm Desi Lou. Hey, you feel me? Hey, Desi Lou the Don, you feel me? Like,
The
no.
Dawn, y'all better get it right.
I appreciate you sending the link. I was like, oh, okay. So I was
Hey,
like,
come
and
on, come on. So while we're saying you already know mental, we waiting on Jazzy. There may be a few others to jump in. So how have you been, Miss Desi? It's been a long time.
I've been wonderful, amazing. Just working, just doing what I gotta do to get to where I'm trying to get to. Trying not to stay still for too long. So
That's what's up.
shake it.
Keep it moving. So what this is just out of the blue. I don't know what make me. Has there been any confirmations that has happened to you lately that kind of put you in that next level to help you move forward?
Yeah. It's all the time. I'm confirmed all the time, every single day. Absolutely. Just by inquiring on the things that I see, just looking into different subjects, knowledge, all types of things. So
That's
I just
all.
try to keep my mind. I continue to look for the truth. That's it. That's all. And
Keep,
that's how I
keep the
keep it
spirit in
moving.
you. I feel you. Oh,
Yeah.
there we go. There go Jazzy Fizzle.
What's
Whoa,
up?
Oh, look who we
whoa,
got. Look who we got right
Too surprised with y'all shocked
now.
asses.
Miss Desi,
What's
what's up?
up?
One of our
Hey,
original spiritual sisters right here. Okay. Don't get it twisted.
There you go. How you been?
I've been good. I've been
Good.
flowing like water. You feel me?
Wow, this was a real surprise. This is nice. This is
I
nice.
was just
Thank you.
telling them, Jazzy, how we about to go this next chapter. Oh my goodness. I was just pre-reading it. Oh Lord. I'm just saying we running down the rabbit hole, but before then, I wanted to actually talk about the when we was talking about confirmations, we was talking about the homeless.
Hmm.
Miss Desi, you can chime in on this. We was thinking the homeless, what type of conscious state do they have to be in when they can just give up everything? Don't care about the
Okay.
cops, don't care about the drug dealers, don't care. I don't care.
They don't care about shit. I mean, they don't care about they
Nothing.
don't care about the police. They don't care about nobody picking at them. That they don't even. I don't even think they worry about where their next meal comes from. You
And
know,
what our question was, is that a spiritual consciousness? Because they're actually doing what we should do. We supposed to be in the world and not of it. They turn their back on everything.
everything.
Family, loved ones, everything.
They have no connections to this realm.
Basically.
I have talked to a lot of homeless people, and so I could say that some of them that I have talked to, I do
Mhm.
think that they operate from a very spiritually conscious level. But
Mm.
some of them I don't talk to.
You got to
Nah,
catch them on the right
but they
day.
some of the realest
Crazy
people
is
I ever
crazy.
met. And to be what y'all had said is to be authentic is one of the highest frequencies. So I feel like that
Facts.
is something that makes them very
Authenticity.
spiritual because they at their rock bottom. They don't got nothing to cover them. They don't got nothing that's kind of like saying
Facts.
like, hey, this what it is. Nah, you get the truth of them every single time. That's them, butt ass naked every single
Eh,
time. So
They ain't
there,
got no
I
reason
think
to lie
that
to
allow
nobody.
them,
you
yeah.
know what
So that
you
allow
know,
them to operate on a different frequency than we ever would, because we
Yes,
allow
I
the
like
things
that.
that we need to take up the space that we could be. What they say, like the pyramids was supposed to be a point of initiation, right? So if
Uh-huh.
we think about that and you make your body a point of initiation, what you said, that's why homeless people would be able to get there, because they know suffering, they know going without, they know
Facts.
lacking, they know starving. So I definitely
Facts.
agree with that. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Now that's what I'm talking about. That's what Miss Desi Lou bring to the table. She don't be playing around out here, okay? We ain't playing out here.
Y'all funny as
yeah,
hell.
yo,
Oh
that's we
man,
was
we having a
talking
good
about
time.
that
Go ahead,
because
Jazzy.
I said that it was just on my heart, and you know what? The last thing I want to touch on that before we move on is that the one thing is that when it comes down to it's consciously like as far as how just imagine that we would be if that we just blocked out everything and lived that type of life. But there's also if you ever
No,
look like in them
it happens though, Jazzy, when you get that death sentence. You got 7 days to live. All of a sudden now, all your
nothing.
priorities change. Nothing looks the same again.
Yes,
So
yes,
what we got to do is stop thinking future, start thinking present.
present.
Because if we
That's it.
think presently, not tomorrow, not next week, right here, right now, what are we gonna do? That opens us up. I know that opens us up on the inside because now you're capable of doing anything. When you think you're gonna live forever, you might hold on to that life. But if they give you 7 days or 24 hours or some crap like that, you'd be like, oh my goodness. Everything I've wanted to do, all this stuff comes back to you. What is real?
It ain't. Mrs. Desi, what I was going to say is that if you ever notice in the movies or anything, when there's one and some crime or something, they always have one in there. And then, like, after they do all of their research, they go back and they say, you know what, there was a guy. Then, it's always one of them at the scene of a
A
crime.
bum somewhere. I seen it.
It's,
Yeah, for sure. But
so,
you gotta
so
think
truth.
about, they
So that's
probably
a,
hold the secrets of the world because they live on the streets. They know everything. Hey, you feel me?
That
So
ain't that where we
what we
get the
afraid to
saying the
do, they be
streets are
outside getting it.
watching?
that's it. Yes. Yes.
Ain't that where
Yeah.
we get that saying the streets are watching? Now we know who watching.
Yeah. Yeah.
They can go back,
Absolutely.
and when you thought you got away, you know what? You ain't even pay attention to that bum that was in the corner. He don't told everything. He brought the truth for it.
Yeah.
He's like, dang.
That's
Then
why
you
they
sat there and you think about it. You like, man, it was one over there. I didn't even say what's up, how you doing, this, that, or nothing. You
You ain't
just
even see him.
invaded. You just invaded their space.
absolutely. I agree with that.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
listen to this,
Go,
guys.
but go ahead.
The move. Oh, go ahead. Moving on. So this happened to me just today. So I'm in my wife's car. I go up to Sam's to go get a few things real quick. Boom, 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 bow. I run in there. And it's 10 o'clock. It opens at 10. Run in there. I'm coming out 10:15. Nigga, that's how I do it. Go get what I need and I'm out. I ain't even playing around. It's
Yeah.
crowded and everything. So on my way out, I get to the car. Why I ain't got the key to the car? I got the rest of my keys and the little thing that goes because I got it. My wife has a Benz truck, so and that little stringy thing, but the flat part done fell down to somewhere, bro. I have no connection to where. You know
Oh
how this
wow.
go. Here we go. You want to get a nigga out of the spiritual? I have been removed. Like, oh my God. I don't even think she has an extra key. I go to talk to the people like, yeah, I dropped my key, so I'm gonna leave my groceries right here. I got the receipt, shoulder, person that was the front, da 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 da. I go to turn to go to lost and found, ain't nobody there. I'm saying, oh shit, this ain't good. And then in the back of my mind be like, where's the spirit at, player? Why the lady walk in with my key?
Mm.
The one of the people that worked there walked right in. I said, that can't be my key. Is it a little bit? Yep. And look, and I put my other piece of the key in it to show her that it was mine. And I was like, damn. Now, saying that, that's how the spirit worked. Love. I touched her shoulder and I said, you know something, you got some money coming to you. She felt it and was like, "Woo, Lord," went to jumping away like, "Thank you. I got something coming to me." So she gonna get that because she felt it. The other thing that I know now was like the spirits that are at work. Remember, these are unseen. These are subjective forces, like magic. But spirit was like, "Bro, I already had them keys covered for you when you dropped them. I don't even know why you playing. And we don't work in this world. Remember, reminding me. Oh, I think I'm so spiritual. Obviously, I'm not.
But the next thing
Still
is
human, baby.
the
Still
testimony part
human.
where you come back. The testimony when you come back, whenever you run into that lady, and she's gonna be like, you know
Right.
what? That very same day, right after you told me that,
I know it's
you
gonna
know,
happen. I'm not even
yeah,
worried about it.
yeah.
That's just another day for another when I go in there. But it's just another testimony, another confirmation. Things don't happen like that if you ain't got right, if your heart ain't right, if you don't treat people right. It all goes back to the inner us.
Mm-hmm.
All right, saying that before we go on to anything else. Anything you want to say, Miss Desi, before we move on?
I just came here to learn.
Jazzy Fizzle,
Nope. I'm just about to go and share this to my page, and
10-4.
I'm here to.
So
Okay.
I want y'all to know this is going to be one of the best chapters in the book because it's talking about so much. The book of knowledge, the keys of Enoch. All right. Right now, we are at key number 12. It always goes with the fire letters. That's the fire letters. Yuhe Wavhe. It's the Hebrew fire letters. That's what that means. Yuhe Wavhe. It means living light, the consciousness, the infinite mind that connects all minds and all universes and all galaxies and all solar systems together. All right. What does it say? The divine mind is the mind face of the loving Father rejoicing in his creation. Now, we have to remember, so men wrote this book. When you say father, you could put mother. You could put it because it's beyond all form. We say father because father, we kind of think of father as the head of the household at the beginning. It's more of a physical construct for us. So we know the head of the household, father. Boom. All right, so the divine is the mind face of the loving Father rejoicing in his creations. The divine is the mind face which connects all universes through love. Remember how I talk about this all the time? This love thing is powerful, okay? The Father's universe verses go into the Son's universes of light, capital L light, of divine inheritance, which the Father rejoices in sharing with his children. The body vehicle is wrapped within the 12 meridians of the indwelling light, the that which connect the mind face of evolution with the 365,000 space-time human representatives of God, which the human eye can behold. That 365. Hold on, we got somebody else. Who we got?
This is
My
our
man
special
Chris.
guest.
Oh, he's just on there. He don't have
Oh,
his
okay, okay,
what's called.
okay.
But welcome. Let me get over here to the comments. All right,
What's up,
so
man?
what are we saying? Remember, you have the 365 days. That's one day. That's one completion. So it's talking about 12 meridians. Remember, you have 12 cranial nerves that wrap around the pineal gland. Everything that we talk about, the 12 disciples, the 12 zodiacs, all this shit is a representation of what's going on in us. Let me keep going. The ability to see beyond the lower manifestations of God, 3 dimensions, is given only to the faithful witness of the word, capital L word, the word that moves, the conscious word of God who ascends into the heavens through the dove of the Christ energy. And for they are allowed to see the Father rejoicing in his creation. If we are to understand the face of the divine, we must begin to understand the face or the appearance of the light body that is seen when the higher intelligence or higher mind speaks to you within your creative cycle of creation. So this is when we have those downloads, those truth bombs, Miss Desi sitting there and all of a sudden, bow, something hit her, be like, yep, write this down.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, yep, this is what we need. This is where we're going. Those are actually coming from your higher self that is connected to the infinite and the eternal. I use these words a lot, but I need y'all to know how they connect us to other
Mhm.
realms of experience.
Mhm.
Okay? I'm just a conduit. We can all do this through mind expansion, opening up my mind to other things than earthly things. I'm now being allowed privy to see other worlds in me, in us. Let me keep going. It says, when you've seen the face of higher evolution and it speaks to you, even on the inner planes, the inner you, the inner mind, those little words of truth, you understand how the face of the sun, capital S of light, capital S, that means conscious son of conscious light, or the messenger of capital L light, is but a brain cell of light consciousness that leads you back to the eternal mind. So it's saying within you, when it speaks to you, that's nothing but one of your brain cells opening up and touching the infinite and the eternal, giving you a download of those many, many millions of brain cells and neurons that's going on. The eternal mind is all of the chemistry of the infinite life systems connected together through a greater creation of mind energy beyond celestial energy. This goes back to everything is what, Jazzy?
You got
Everything
me.
is mental.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Everything
yeah,
is
yeah.
mind.
You got me. I
This
was
is
sitting
why
there.
that's the first
Wait a minute.
law of
You
Tahuti.
got to slow
Go ahead.
down a little bit. I'm still processing. So I'm you
Okay,
know,
my
so
bad, my bad. Yeah, you
but
know I
yeah,
go a mile a minute because
yeah,
I start to feel that energy. That my mind cells start opening up. Why do they open up? Not for me, but I want to make sure that I can break it down so it's easy for everyone to get a glimpse of what we're talking about.
hmm
We're talking about centropy, the
hmm
electrification of matter, no such thing as death. When you talk about heaven and there's no eating it, we're talking about centropy. Right now we're in entropy, the
hmm
decay of matter. Things are decaying and getting worse. But entropy is surrounded by centropy.
hmm
Because every time you think, you're using centropy. When you get spiritual downloads, that's centropy. Anything in the spirit, that's centropy. So we use it, but we've been taught to only focus on what's on the outside of us. What looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good, smells good. So we miss all this inner science here. All this gets missed.
hey, and it's connecting the brain. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said you got to slow down because it's wiring my brain as I'm listening too. You know, this is
So
like,
the brain is slowly getting rewired through
hmm
spiritual transducers
hmm
that change one form. A transducer just takes one form of energy and changes it into something else. These spiritual transducers take these spiritual downloads and break it down so we can understand it and it makes it useful for us. Heals the body,
hmm
gives us future sight, opens up the past for healing. All the same force.
you know
Just
what?
if we want to categorize it as something, it's all the same force. And it goes through your brain cells. You are connected right now. If you've ever heard the voice of truth in you to the infinite and
Right.
the eternal, and that's every last one of us, I would think.
Yeah. I want to
hmm
say that this is something that I had to learn, but and in learning, sometimes you don't know you're learning what you're learning.
hmm
But
Facts.
in order to heal properly, you must first make the mind aware of itself. So you gotta make sure that you're aware of this little thing up here, and that's why them people ask that question of, "Oh, think about the color blue," and then you'll be like, "Think of blue," and then they'll say, "Oh, well, who just told you to think about thinking?" And they'll be like, "You did," but then you kick started again in your own mind
hmm
because you was
Right.
like, "Okay,
Right.
think blue." and
hmm
and we forget that voice. And somebody had told me the other day, they had said to me when I was talking to them, and he said that he was like, when you were talking to me, you kept saying, I'm talking to myself while I'm talking to you. And he was like, I appreciated that because it didn't make it feel like it was an attack. And I was like, yeah, because the things that come out of my mouth, they also apply to me. I
But
must also look within myself. If I'm
hey,
gonna be looking through you, I gotta see me as well. So I
accountability is
agree with that.
accountability, and you become responsible. You know, that's what we was
Yeah.
talking about the other night. Is just that once you know, you become responsible. So it's just like you can't run. you,
And that's
you
that
can't run.
intelligent infinity. That's an
Hmm.
intelligent infinity. This is the infinite that is aware of itself, that is conscious enough to know that this is what we're moving toward. So
Okay.
So, right, that's where we're at. We keeping. It's gonna keep getting deeper. We're just at the flesh, but we're where we want to be. Inside of us, that spirit of truth talking to us,
Mhm.
speaking to it speaks to us all the time. Ain't nothing
Mhm.
special got to be going on for you to talk to your spirit. Let
Mhm.
me keep going. One of the
Mhm.
most important sections of the New Testament takes us to Theophilus 4:13 through 18. Moreover, my brothers, we do not want to be ignorant concerning those who are sleeping in death. What does that mean?
Mhm.
Those who are sleeping in death, those are the sheep. Those are that go by only what looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good, smells good,
Mhm.
touch, feels good. That's it.
Mhm.
So they're oblivious to the whole inner universe on the inside. Let me keep going. That you may not sorrow just as the rest do who have no hope. For if our faith is in the Christ energy, so to those who have fallen asleep in death, through the Christ energy, God will bring them. God will bring them with them. For this is what we tell you about the living light and the Word. All right, then it goes on. It says the New Testament is speaking of the coming of the Christos, which will remind that this will take place in the heavens first, then on land. So now it's talking about how there's changes that are happening in the heavens, wars being fought in the heavens, in the realm of thought, in the realm of spirit. Shit is getting cleansed. These motherfuckers, where they falling to though? This is what they don't tell you. They're falling down here because this is about to be cleansed. This is about to be a change. But for us that know these energies will keep coming to us to keep us surprised on what's going on. Why? Because we're spiritual and we're supposed to know. We are not supposed to be asleep like the rest are asleep. Okay? We're not supposed to be drunk during the day like they drink. We supposed to sleep at night and be rested and this and that and other thing because we're getting these downloads to help us to know. So when the Christ energy comes, the foremost righteous will be caught up to see the Lord in the air where you receive the blessings of the co-reigning with the Christ energy and dispensing of the anointing to be brought to the saints on earth. What is this co-reigning? What is this caught up in the air? This is a unseen evolution. This is a mental expansion. Why will you be caught up in the air? Because you'll be leaving your physical body behind. Don't take everything in the Bible says literally. We got to look at it as a god or a goddess. You got to see it from a higher realm. All right, let's keep going. It refers to the consciousness of man, which must seek to be one with the Christ vibration when the physical body, even the dust molecules of previous creations, rise into the new vibratory structure of the new divine breath to be made into the garment of light, capital L light. Now your body will be conscious. Don't get it twisted. It's conscious now, but at such a low level. But your whole body will be conscious. This is the electromagnetic body. We call it the physical body because they want to keep us trapped in this low realm. But on this, we have our atom cadmium, which is four light bodies wrapped around it. The epikinetic body, the germateria body, basically the mental body, the spiritual body, so you can rule in all realms. This is our destiny as being humans down here on these planets. I'm going to keep going. All right, it refers to the conscience of man, which can seek to be one with the Christ vibration when the physical body, even the dust molecules of previous creations, rise to new vibratory structures in the new divine breath and be made into the garment of light. Until that time, the eyes of the world of the one redemption is just as realistic as any other redemption. Okay, it goes on. It says in Theologians, it's speaking of the terms of higher relativity. That means higher mind. Everything is conscious of itself. There is the blade of grass is conscious. The trees are everything is conscious. Higher relativity, which is releasing of the physical form, as if the physical form doesn't matter. It is the releasing of the matter and the image and semitude, which is in gravitationally trapped light. That's what gives decay its power. Because the light is gravitationally trapped within a sphere. It is not free to roam. It is not centropy, which light can roam and go and expels out in all directions. Nothing is stopping it. That's where you get the squaring of the circle, because the circle is 360 degrees, but a square is 360 degrees. And within the square, you can get objects: fire, earth, air, water. Okay, now you break that up. Male, female, law of the opposites, the law of rhythm, the law of mind, all that starts to come into play. But that's within this squaring of a circle, which is in higher evolution or higher energy. It's surrounded by centropy. So there really is no such thing as death. That's something someone created while we were down here. I'm gonna keep going. All right, so Theogen speaking of the terms of higher relativity, in which the releasing of the physical form is that the physical form doesn't matter. It is the releasing of the matter and the image and semitude, which is gravitationally trapped light. This allows a new image of man to be constructed, to flow into the semitude of the illuminaries who govern the worlds beyond the Earth's dimension. So now we're talking about other dimensions of light, other physical dimensions that we were supposed to be a part of. But because of the ones that was taking care of us, they chose to try to use their shit. They said, forget the Father's plan, we gonna do our plan. And because of that, all of us became responsible for karmic penalties. Because why? When he starts going off the Father's plan, transgression is bound to happen. Sin. Bound to happen. Uh-oh, we got a newcomer to us.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey, Miss Pretty Jan, what's going on?
Hello. How are
So
you?
I hope you've been following us.
For a little bit. I actually, Jazz reached out to me.
Okay. All right.
Here.
So we're deep down the rabbit hole right now, love, but introduce yourself. Before you do that, hold on, let me just close this out. So we're talking about what? Physical forms, right? We're talking about image and semitude. If you go back a few lectures, what is the image and semi? The image is what you are, what you look like, but that is not enough to survive multiple incarnations. You need the semitude, which is the light pattern behind your consciousness. So it recreates back into you every single time you recreate. You just get better because now you learn from another lifetime. It's the image in semitude. All right. So what is it saying? We're stopping or we're breaking free from the image and semitude, the light pattern that keeps us trapped on earth and going back into our natural phase. That's when they say you're going back to heaven. You're going back to this everlasting life. That's what they're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about, how it happens, but that's what they're talking about. All right. So this allows man to go into a new image to be constructed, to flow into the semitude, the pattern of the illuminaries, of the light. Conscious L light, meaning consciousness, not just light that you see, but conscious light, right? The new image of the luminaries who govern the worlds beyond Earth's dimension. So beyond this realm, even though we're all connected, we're layered like the multiverse. But Miss Jem, tell us something about yourself. We're just going through the book of Enoch. It's pretty deep, but let us know why you felt like you wanted to come on today.
Hi.
Oh, I invited her. Remember remember I told you last week I said that we should have a guest on Sunday, but I just got in
This is
contact
the
with
one.
her.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I invited her to come on because remember Wednesday, Thursday when we was talking
Right.
about Sunday, and so
And we
this is
got the
who I
time
invited.
differences messed up.
Okay. Yeah, so my real name is Leslie King, and
Hmm.
I'm a spiritualist. And I have my own business, Pretty and Spiritual, where I really just speak to different ladies about their own spiritual journeys. They have a lot of questions. I like to answer those questions for them as best as I know how, based upon my experience and my spiritual journey. I also have a book club. And in our book club, we just do a lot of self-development, personal development, self-mastery.
All
We
right.
discuss a lot of things spiritually and where we are currently in our life and how to connect our spirit, our mind, and our body so that we are not just out here doing whatever, but it has a purpose. Like I heard you talking about life purposes. That's what I'm assuming that you were speaking about, and how we do come back different times. We make an agreement to come here and to
Facts.
live
We
out
agree.
our purpose. And so a lot of times we may not know what that purpose is initially, but throughout our life and as we journey through, different obstacles in life, that purpose is revealed. And once it's revealed, it's on us at that point to live in that. As hard as it may be, it's still going to be essential for us to do so. So that's just a little bit about me. I'm 33. I don't have any children. I am married. However, have an open marriage. I am really, really big on freedom.
Hmm.
Um, I'm really big on integrity. I'm really big on just being authentic in who you are. So those are just some things about me. I love conversations like this, conversations in depth. So I'm excited to be here and share this platform with you all.
All right. Well, thank you for coming in.
Can I
I just
just
had
say
one thing.
something?
Oh, go ahead, dear.
Love, your skin is glowing. You are gorgeous. Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
So
thank you.
okay, like I just wanted to let you know that, like, yes, you glow through the screen, honey. Okay.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you,
for
Blue.
sure. No problem.
I was gonna ask about the interview and what was the conversation that you had with you that broke you, that kind of took you to the next level, if you know what I'm talking about.
You said something prior. You said the
Hmm.
interview
Enter
with
you.
No, the
Oh,
interview.
okay.
interview.
Oh, enter me. I'm like, what interview was I on?
No, no,
Uh,
the interview that kind of took you to that next level. Like, oh, okay, I'm leaving
How
all
did
this
you start
behind.
your journey?
Right.
yes. I think things broke my heart first. A lot of things, just not even romantically, just in life in general, like just experience people and seeing how broken they are within themselves, and how they interact with me from that level of brokenness. It really affected me because I'm the type of person who can feel energy. I can feel different people's energy, and I almost I harbor it, but I had to learn how to transmute that energy. So for me, my initial spiritual awakening happened in 2009. I had just finished high school. I was at a place where I was in a bad relationship. I was a kid, and I just felt like God had something more for me. I always knew that. I just didn't know what my trajectory was going to be or where I was going to be. And still, at sometimes I have that moments where I'm like, where am I going to be in life? Where is God transitioning or moving me to be? Where am I supposed to be in alignment? But when things got really heavy for me, I had lost a very close relative. My first cousin had passed, and it was a lot of suicidal thoughts. It was a lot of depression I had to overcome, and in that, I like to call it a moment of darkness, but I think it was almost like a revelation for my soul. Like, I can't sit here and dwell on what the world has going on. I can't sit here in grief. I can't sit here and just allow, this darkness of my soul to take over me. I have to somehow gain control over my flesh. Like, this is my one life I get to live right here, that I need to take total control over and really live in my purpose. And I realized that my purpose was to educate others about, depression, to educate them about God and who God is, and not how, you know, religion makes God to be as a box. He only can be in this church, and if you're a Christian and what have you, like,
Put the ceiling on it.
yeah, they put a ceiling on it. Like, no, God showed up to Moses as a burning bush. So let's talk about that. Like, he showed up, if you really get biblical, different ways to different people. So what way are you interacting with God? What does that look like for you? How does God communicate to you? So for me, I started getting just different like signs, and it could be as simple as a billboard I'll walk by and it's talking to me. And I'm like, damn, that's kind of deep, that message that's on that
That's
billboard. And it made sense
faith.
just to me. You know what I'm saying?
Substance of things not seen by others, but your spirit is talking to you. So
Yes.
everything you see becomes spiritual. Oh, I'm with you. Go ahead.
Yes. So a lot of that was happening. A lot of relationships just started to fall away, and I wasn't
Mhm.
understanding how are they falling away. But then I would get around people, and their energy would just not mix with mine. Whereas opposed before, it would mix. But it was because I was starting to get to know me, like the inner me,
Facts.
and my purpose, and what
And see,
God
the
was
first
calling.
thing you thought of was them falling away. They weren't falling away. You were leaving them behind.
Yes.
They couldn't keep up with you.
Basically, that's exactly what was happening. And at that moment, I didn't understand. But as I've grown, I've started to realize that that saying is true. Like, people come in your life for seasons, reasons, or lifetimes. And it's true. As unfortunate as sometimes it can be, but it's really not unfortunate, because you have to grow. If you don't grow, you're dying.
Those
So
are necessary.
yes,
Necessary.
it's very
Facts.
necessary. And I had to learn to just thank them for their experience in my life. Thank you for opening this next door for me. Thank you for revealing something in me that I didn't know was there. And I
And
think
who are you thanking?
I was thanking them for their experience in my life,
Who's
but
them?
just friends, old lovers, old
Oh.
family members that I was really tight with, just people, co-workers, anybody. But when I realized their time was up, it was up. Like, and I had to thank them, not go out and be angry or mad, because a lot of times people get mad and angry with you because you are drifting away from them, or y'all can't have the same intellectual conversations anymore. Like, you've grown past what they have done for you. And a lot of times it can end in beef or anger, or it doesn't have to be that. It could be, you know what? I have decided that, you know, this relationship does not feed me anymore. And I don't think I could feed you anymore. So
Is this a reflection or what? This was
That's
going
what
on
that's
right
what I'm
when it was
seeing.
going on?
I
Huh?
It
think
seems like
like almost
it,
simultaneously. It could, like, I would be reflecting on the relationship as the relationship is still there, but then it'll be like, but just we don't connect
it
anymore. And I'm
seems
I
forced.
may come up
it,
with a
it
new
seems
new new
like
term.
it seems
Instantaneous shadow work. You shadow working while you in the relationship. But go ahead,
it's
Jazzy.
it seems like at that point in her life altogether, it seems as if she was you were thanking them, but you were thanking yourself and releasing yourself from that. So, you know, you have to go ahead and pat yourself on the back and say that I was releasing myself and thanking myself at the same time. That's what it sounds like for you to go ahead and open up, expand, so you can go ahead and get to where you need to be at the next level
Well, we like to say on this show that everyone is just a different representation of us.
of yourself.
Yes, a
Right.
mirror.
Every
Yes.
last
That's what,
everyone is a
right,
mirror. Every last
right,
person. So if they
right,
affect you, that means they're affecting you because there's something in you. Ain't got nothing to do with
right,
them.
right, right. And that's what I was trying to project. Just let you know that it sounded like it was just you know.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot
No,
what.
you straight.
But you're absolutely right, like a mirror. And so
Hmm.
I think that is true. I was reflecting on, oh, this is not good for me anymore. This is not good for me. You know, it ain't got nothing to do with you. Maybe that's where you are in your life and you find there, but for me, it's not good. And it definitely mirrored a lot of things within me that I know I needed to change.
And the key is what she's saying is this was her talking to her. No other ear in her eye. Ain't no one saying do this, do that. This is you talking to you. Oh, I deserve better.
Yes. Yes. And the signs were there. It was so creepy. You know, it was just really, truly, at times I'd be like, okay, God, I get it. Like, and these are
Well,
conversations I'm having with myself. Like, okay,
but
I get
those are great conversations. Remember, you it takes a lot for us to break out of the religious motif.
yes.
whatever that may be. It
Yeah.
takes a lot for us to break out of that. So, and it takes a lot of soul searching and shadow work. What do
Yes.
you think, Miss Desi?
I agree. Yes.
Hey, you know what's so it's so ironic. I think you in Florida too, right? Are you in
Yeah.
Florida?
Mm-hmm.
All three of y'all in Florida except for me.
Oh wow.
Oh,
I'm in
that's
Orlando.
crazy. Oh, I'm in
I'm in
Fort
Tampa.
Lauderdale.
Okay.
Mm.
You know it's
Yeah,
so big.
so we got the storm coming around. I don't know if it's hitting y'all. We just got a little rain. It's nice and cool though. They done cooled down.
Yeah, we had some rain
Okay.
too. Same.
So
So,
we I just want to say Ms. Jim, the one thing that we were talking about when I came on today, I got a surprise because I haven't talked with Miss Desi, our other spiritual sister, on the show in a long time. So when I came on, it was like a big surprise, you know. So we started talking about what we talked about on Thursday was about homeless and like what some consider as a bum. And we was asking, you know, we asked Miss Desi because me and Mental were talking about it last week about how do you what do you feel spiritually? Do you as far as when you see a homeless person, like because we were saying that they don't really care about anything. You know, they are such a strong mental state that they block everything on this physical out. And it's just like they have a more spiritual insight. I want to know your thoughts on that too.
Um, I don't ever judge homeless people because it could be me one day. Like who,
Mhm.
all of us is almost a check away from being homeless. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, I think a home is anywhere. A home could be anywhere in your car. It could be under a
Mhm.
tree. It could be literally anywhere. You know what I'm saying? I think we put as a people, we place so much emphasis on material things. We place so much emphasis on, you know, you gotta have a house or you gotta have this or that. That's not necessary. I have an uncle who lives in the woods. Like he enjoys his life in the woods, and he got a little tent. He make his own fire every day. He cooks all those things from a
Living
stream.
off the
You know,
land.
he lives off of the land, and he's very happy. So for me, I don't even want to call it homelessness. I almost want to find a different term
See,
for it.
I don't want to go, and that's the thing. Where I didn't want to say bum no more because you know what I'm saying is that's even a step lower. You know, homeless I thought was a little bit, but I'm open to another, you know, word that
What I
Some
we
want
can
to
use.
say is, like Miss Jem was saying, your people that live off the land. You know how spiritual that is. Till the
That's what I'm
ground,
saying.
to know how to water it, to nurture it. The process. You can't just put a seed in and it's gonna grow up the next day and be what you needed. It's got to be slowly tempered, and that's like life.
yeah.
Consciousness, growing consciousness, getting better. Kind of the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I just
It's
didn't want to
also
lose
freedom
that.
too. It's a level of freedom that comes with that. You don't have to
Fast.
live by society
That's
norms.
total
You don't owe
freedom.
nobody anything. You know, I don't owe anybody anything. I'm living
Boom.
free, you know? So it's almost a level of freedom physically. Now there are homeless people who are just in turmoil about them being homeless instead of seeing
Right.
as the glass half full, they look at
Right.
it glass half empty. And that spiritually can ruin a person if you look at it that way, because just recently I lost my job, you know. However, I was wise enough to like save money for whatever things that I may have need in these next 3 months while I'm at home and focusing and building my skills or whatever for when I want to re-enter the job force. But if I was to have to live, not saying that I would right now, but if I had to live on the streets, I wouldn't really complain about it because mentally I'm so rich. Mentally I'm so rich. I would know what to do to get myself in a position where I'm okay. I will
Spirit
also be
got you.
spiritually okay because I know that there are so many stories in the Bible and the any book you really read, any spiritual book you read in the fucking Quran. Sorry about my language, but anything you really read, there's so much in it about how God provides for the birds and the bees. So what would
Facts.
for you? You know
How
what I mean?
much more?
Yes. Even in the
Facts.
season of me not having a job, I've been given more and I
This
don't
is what we,
have.
but we don't even see it like that.
Right. You
Most
That's
don't
people
see it
can't
like
even see it like that. You get fired and you got more than what you had when you had the job. Well, how did
exactly,
this happen?
which is crazy because I'm just like, I wasn't expecting, this, but God has a whole nother, thing for
So,
you.
or
that
goddess.
just
That's
happened.
Or
all in
God.
you. It's all
That
in you.
just happened to me. I had I was got tired of the job that I was at, and then I planned everything out where I would have my 2 weeks in, and then I would have my 2 weeks of vacation. So when I got ready to leave, I could chill for 2 weeks, and I started my next job. That I had it all lined up in my head. I tried to do the best that I could, and then so what ended up happening was that the job, for whatever reason, we got pushed your start date back. So they pushed it back like 3 times. And then so I was out of work for a whole month, and I was able to do exactly more than I was when I was out of work. You know what I mean? Financially, I didn't miss a meal. I didn't miss, I had gas in my car. I did what I needed to do. I went where I went, and for a whole month of no employment. And this wasn't something that I tried to do myself, but that's when Spirit told me, it was like, you know what? It's not you doing this. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? I got you. I'm the one that's doing this. I need you to understand that you're
And
not.
that's the safety that we need to have. That safety, that knowing we're taken divinely favored. You know what I'm saying? Knowing we taken care of no matter what's going on around us.
Right.
And it'll happen.
Mhm.
All right. Because
So,
we're in a world and not of it. And we're starting to use these other worldly powers.
Yep.
mhm.
But let's
And
get
so
back into it. So we're talking about the image and the semitude. That's what keeps us down here, keeps repeating as humans and not a plant, not a bee. That refutes the theory that I was once a bee. Nah, it don't work like that. So the motion going into the new image, this is like in Revelations when there's a new earth, a new we got Mr. Or Mrs. Let me say Nero saying peace to the goddesses. She's saying she feels the same way. Uh, I'm in Florida too. Yeah, I love this heat down here. But let me keep going. So the image in the semitude of like went through Revelations when it says it's going to be a new earth and a new heavens. People keep thinking that a caterpillar, when you go through when it goes through the transformation stage, it's a butterfly, right?
Mm.
Right?
Yeah, they do. The
exactly,
It's
metamorphosis.
yeah.
not a caterpillar again.
Mhm.
So what makes you think when we go through this metamorphosis, this energy upgrade, that we're gonna be regular humans worried about what we gonna eat, what our bank account look like? All that shit gone.
Mhm. It's happening
That ain't
now,
new
though.
nothing.
You can see
Okay.
it. You can see it in different realms in society now, where people are literally metamorphosed, like they're morphing. Like people are getting more consciously aware of things, and
Yes.
even as far as like working a 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, every single day, and that whole status quo thing of I gotta have this car and this house, and I gotta look at these type of clothes, and I gotta live this type. That whole ideal is crumbling. If like you can really see it, we are. And I know this is probably like, I don't know if this is connected to what you're saying, but a lot of people are starting to understand that you got to create your own food by gardening. Like you really need to get back to the land
That's what.
and gardening your own food. You really got to get back in tune with your body and do yoga and meditate and
I take it one step further. Forget all the food and start getting your minerals, and then you ain't got to eat it all. Get you some
yeah, that too.
sunlight and water and some minerals. You don't need any food. But
Yeah,
we've been
people are
lied
getting,
to.
they're learning more about it, myself
Yes,
included.
they
Like
are.
we're learning more, and we want that type of lifestyle. It's happening. It's not happening as quickly as we all would like for it to be, but it's
But it's
happening,
happening.
and it's definitely
Facts.
so.
Hey, look,
I think
look
that's
at
what
what.
when you say new earth, this it starts here first. Like everything happens twice, first in the mind, then in
In
reality.
the
Then
physical, right.
So it's happening for people mentally right now. Waves of people are being awakened in that way to what
That's what's up.
the earth is going to look
look at
like.
what's happening right now, though. Out here, it's like what was it? One country, they the banks cut off all of their money, and then they couldn't. I think the bank closed. I think the
Mhm.
bank closed, if I'm not mistaken. And then people were out their money. They was out there trying to get it and everything. And it's just like, you know what? These are the kind of things that can go ahead and happen now. And you know, if that happened now, what it would do to some people's mind,
Oh, they'll lose it.
you,
They'll kill. Some
that,
people
It'll
will
you,
go
really.
back to martial law. It'll
Oh,
go back to
hey,
chaos, the
we're
Wild
one
West.
step close. I mean, it's almost like they showing us like, look, we can do this at any time, especially by
They
everything being
can't.
electronically.
yes.
They
Electronically,
could, but it wouldn't work the way they think it would. You
it
got to
wouldn't work
remember, us
for
black
it wouldn't
people,
work
we're
for the
that. That's what we do. When the pandemic hit, we weren't really feeling it. When they said that what we were going through a market collapse, I'm poor
That was
now. I was poor
just
but
yesterday.
the ones that's what I'm saying. The ones that aren't adapt to go ahead and survive, and that
Oh,
will they'll be messed up.
they'll
they'll be
You
jump out the
know,
window.
and they showing you right now like the first thing what they do they have to put it in the movies. They show you in the movies
yeah.
of the different stuff that's happening. You know what I'm saying? So you can go ahead and you have knowledge of knowing, but you don't know. You know what I'm saying? They put it in the movies how the world has just went disastrous, even if it's for a day. You know what I'm saying? So that's a test to go ahead and they already starting to program you to know. So it's telling you at some point in time it's going to happen. You know what I'm
Most
saying? So and then so what they're doing is that they're doing little tests. They're going here, trying to freezing up your bank money closed here, this, that, or whatever.
That ain't
But
nothing
if
but
you're not
fear
mentally,
tactics.
yeah,
They
yeah,
want you
hey,
to
and
believe this
no,
world of
I kind of
fear,
agree
and
with
they're
you.
gonna
Well,
do this. They
I
ain't gonna
agree,
do
but I
shit.
kind of
Hold on
disagree
one second.
about
Listen,
the fear
they may
test.
run around this place. They may even control shit. Everything they do is spiritually programmed from somewhere else. All right?
I
Because
think
they don't really have an essence of their own. So everything is being spiritually programmed. They're being told what to do and how to do. They ain't gonna do shit that's gonna jeopardize a god. Nigga, they can't. They can't touch us in no
that
form.
no, but the thing is, you have to be conscious to know that you are God or a goddess. You have to know that. You know what I'm saying?
right,
If you don't,
right.
if you,
If you
it's,
don't
I don't know
know,
if y'all saw the movie Supercell. It's like a show on Netflix.
Yes,
yes,
I did. We
yes,
talked
it's
about that.
almost it's almost like if you don't know that you're activated in that sense, then
you won't
you
survive.
will become a
Right.
victim. You can become a
Yes,
victim easily.
yes,
So it's like
Hmm?
for
yes.
me, and I love my people, my melanated people for real, but if we don't educate ourselves on what's really happening and learn how to, like I said, garden or learn how to be without these things, technology and all these things that are programming
Hey,
us, because they
it's
are
coming.
programming us. If you don't know how to be without those things when you don't have them, you can really lose your mind. Like you can go crazy. Like I do with my ladies every month in my book club. We do a week of no social media. And the fact is,
Yeah,
they'll
that's
get
That's
in the
good.
group
everything.
chat and they are in the group chat all day. I say, ladies, I have to remind them. I say, ladies, the whole purpose of us taking this week of detoxification, of us taking some time to take solitude away from all of these things, is even here in this group chat. Y'all just made this a whole new social media by
Fact.
it constantly responding in here and talking in here. And I get it, you want to share, but I need you to relish in this time for you and God. Let God talk to you, meditate,
There
hear
you go.
face.
Yes.
What things
Yeah.
do you need to be doing while you're spending an hour, 30 minutes writing in this chat, talking, having conversations? What could you have done during that time? And
Mhm.
they be like, oh my God, this is so hard because you're fighting against your flesh. Your flesh
Yes.
has
Yes.
been
Because
programmed.
it feels
So
good.
your flesh has been programmed to pick up your phone when you got idle time and scroll the internet or make a post and be all on that. Your flesh has been programmed that you got to be productive and building and moving and doing something. You don't know what it means to rest, to relax. You don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like these little things that you're talking about, Jazz, about, the technology being taken away, the banks, all those are fear tactics. But at the
Mhm.
same instance, those things they are almost like COVID. To me, I
Mhm.
felt like that was a test. Okay,
Right. Right.
I want to test this thing out, see what happens.
Mhm.
How do they
Mhm.
respond? And
Mhm.
then it's actually time to come back. And now I have a what is it? Because it's a weapon that they're creating, but
Mhm.
it's a it's a weapon. And I don't know how to say this because I'm not into the medical field, but it is almost like a virus, but in a weapon form. If I could take out so many people with this weapon, the same thing is happening when they're doing those technology. All of a sudden, AT&T or T-Mobile, the whole thing shut down. Really, y'all got spaceships, y'all got satellites in the air, y'all got all of these goddamn telecommunication things all throughout society. This is not just happening. This is not just. These are
These are
tests.
signs,
These
right?
are signs.
Right.
Because
Right.
even in the movies, like I am big on the movie Purge right now because I
Yeah.
see it.
Me too. Yes.
I see it
Yes.
happen. These senseless killings of Black people, these senseless killings of just people in general, these mass shootings. You go somewhere and they shooting up everybody. These are
This ain't
those
nothing
movies of
new.
Purge.
That ain't nothing
These
new.
are signs of what's to come.
But it isn't anything new.
No, it's
It's
not.
just that everybody has
No.
a phone now and you can see it more. I can't. I mean, I'm with you when you
Yeah,
say
but
the.
let them turn that phone off,
Yes.
and you can't see it. That's what I'm
That's
saying.
where the problem
Oh
is.
no,
That's where
they already done the
that's where it's gonna.
programming of the television when they sold the whole thing that they went to the moon.
All they
Can
gotta
we
do is
pull
kill the
people through
internet.
this television?
All you gotta do is
Yes.
kill the internet for 1 week.
Mhm. Oh, please. The
Why
world will
do that
go
when you
crazy.
control the internet?
The world will go crazy. They
The
already
world wouldn't
control it.
go crazy.
They already control
Us
it.
older folk would be like, hey, we were there when we had no internet. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Yeah, but see, we're older. There's a whole generation that they've been playing with tablets since they were 1 and 2 years old. You know what I'm saying? Gamers. You know what I'm saying? It's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people. They would lose their mind.
They would
Well,
lose it.
I would say that would be up to the parents because it's that's your responsibility. If you're gonna make
Facts.
you're gonna teach your kids something, you're gonna teach them survival skills. Everybody keep talking about how the world gonna get to my kids regardless, and then you'll say, but I don't want to teach them that because they too
Thank
innocent.
you.
Well, if somebody gonna get to them regardless, how counterintuitive does that sound?
It makes
I
better
don't know.
sense if you get to them
You
than
get to them
than
Facts.
first.
Teach them.
You
I can
teach them
teach
first.
them. I could
Well,
give you
you
the
got a lot
wisdom
of
and the
kids.
understanding to see the truth and then move through it. But nah, we be too hung up on our traumas, the things that happened to us that we learned too quick because we couldn't see past what y'all say our symbols, traumas,
birth
patterns. What?
traumas,
And
traumas,
repetition.
repetition, and traumas, repetition, and what is the
Yeah,
other
we
one?
can't see past that shit.
Symbol, trauma, and
Symbols, trauma,
repetition.
yes, symbols.
That's
We
how the
be stuck in our
subconscious is
repetition.
programmed.
But
We
you
be
know
stuck
what,
in
Miss
our
Desi?
symbols.
You know
Mm-hmm.
what, Miss Desi? You deal with a lot of women, you know, in your circle of things that you do, and so do, you know, Miss Jim. Y'all both deal with a lot of different type of, and some of these women are adults
Mm-hmm.
that you're dealing with. You see what I'm saying? So it's not just kids too; it's adults. It's
Yeah.
some
But I'm
adults that has
saying
been
that's why they not able to teach because we not able to move past the things that happened to us when we were children. It's supposed to be a teach learn cycle.
right,
I'm
right,
supposed to
right
be able to learn from my child as much as they're able to learn from
to
me.
learn
But we close the
exactly.
door. This where these people who like my mama, let's say she was abused. But she came out understanding it wasn't just a thing of, oh, I can never hit my kids. She understood that she still had to correct us. A lot of people, when we read the Bible, we'll say, spare the rod, spoil the child. They think that means beat your child, but no, in earnest, that means teach your child. Teach
Child.
them. Stop sparing them the lessons of life. Stop sparing them. You are
Facts.
spoiling them. Now they can now they don't know how to operate. That's what that shit means. We be
Yeah.
so stuck on what y'all say, our limited knowledge. It's limited. Once you open up your mind to the infinite, then you can start learning for real. You just playing in
Facts.
the sandbox right now.
Yes.
Aj.
Yes.
Mhm,
I agree with her
mhm,
100% on that.
mhm.
Because that is definitely thing, especially now with the gentle parenting and the parents. Because I was an assistant principal, and what I see is a lot of times they confuse gentle parenting with not parenting at all, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
you could be a gentle parent. You don't have to whoop your kids or whatever. You don't have to, go to that extreme, but you still need to teach them stealing is wrong. Okay.
Mhm,
So go home and take their PS5 from them. See how they
mhm,
like that being taken from them. Well, that's
mhm,
what you did when you took this from this child. Teach them
mhm.
lessons that come with that, but that's not happening. I can
Yeah.
honestly say that from working in different high schools, I see that with parents, they're not teaching their kids squat. They really think that the job of the teacher is to teach them basic life skills and to teach them how to be, civilians. And it's like, no, we're here to teach them math, reading, social studies, science. That other part is
Yeah.
what you're supposed to do when you at home with them.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's not happening. And of course, throughout the day in the classroom, the teachers are teaching them, you don't put your hands on people's kids. You don't speak over other people. You allow the floor for other folks as well. Those are things that are embedded within the lesson, but that's not the lesson. You
It's
know what
not
I'm
being
saying?
reinforced.
It's not being reinforced at
Absolutely.
all. So that's something that is going to be huge if, like you're saying, this whole world ending thing, which it's happening gradually. It's not going to happen all
It's
at once.
Well, we
decaying.
I
all
never think
know
it's going to happen.
85%. See, this is the problem with us on the panel is, like I say, a lot of stuff we do is side effects of the love that we're channeling from the infinite and eternal. That energy that we're ciphering off that makes us want to do what we do. So then we want to help people. We want to teach people. We want to guide people. Don't get it twisted. It is a side effect. Okay? What it wants you to do, it wants to guide Miss Desi. It wants to guide Miss Jem to where they're the best you can be. But because of our love, because we realize that we're not alone, that everyone is a reflection of us, we try to help them out too.
But
But
the
when you
only
do
way
too
you can truly help a person out is only by leading by example.
Yep.
It's not to
much,
say that I could do something for you or if I could put something in you. What they always say, you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make them drink.
can't make them drink.
So
The
to
horse
me,
without
it's just if I'm leading by example, I can give and I'm in a true example. This why what you practice and what you know, it don't matter unless you embody the practice and the knowledge. That's the only way.
Becomes one with you. Yes.
Yeah.
Because
So they can't
I
teach.
asked Jazzy this the other day, and I know what you ladies gonna say. I love myself the most
Mhm.
out of anybody. For my kids, for my wife, for anybody. I love
You
me.
should. You should.
Okay. Then out of that love comes love for everyone else.
Mhm.
Yes, exactly. They
You know,
receive the
but I'm just
overflow.
saying, some people would disagree because they say they love their kids more than anything.
No.
Oh no, your kids get the overflow of you. You fill them up enough
Facts.
so they had their own overflow. If you teach, this why people be so worn out. This why they be so burnt out
Yeah.
because you take the little that you do got and you start pouring it into everybody else, and then when you don't got no more, you then start breaking off pieces of yourself. This how you be talking about running up, talking about some. Oh, I lost myself. No, no, you didn't, bitch. You gave yourself away. Let's
Yep.
do. We're gonna correct this first
No,
of
she
all.
right.
So
She's so right.
I think it's a lot of times where we just have to learn how to fill ourselves up
Oh
first.
shit.
And then what the residual is what everybody else gets a sip of.
I agree.
And in my residual, you can fill yourself up just as much. That's what an
Facts.
example is. If I'm light and I'm flooding over light, if you can take and magnify the light that I am that's flooding down, hey, what you doing? You're making your own light. We got caught up in the
Right.
creation and we forgot the creator.
Yes.
And that's what happened.
We're
Yes.
all using the same energy. Don't get it
Absolutely.
twisted.
Yep.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
all the same energy, same stream.
Hey, you know what it is? A simple change of the mind.
Yeah.
Change your
Absolutely.
Something
mind.
just
You
that's
train
just something
your
that's
mind.
just
In
so
fact,
simple.
and mathematically, when you change your mind, all you're doing is changing your frequency from a
Mhm.
lower frequency to a higher frequency. That's all.
Mhm.
When you
It's
change,
about
when you were a sex addict, not anymore. You used to love to drive cars fast. You got into a whole bunch of accidents, not anymore. You know, whatever it may be. You change your mind, so now you're not what you used to be. That's like being born again. Same thing. When your
But you know
mind is
the
changed and nothing looks the same anymore. That's
you
being
know
born
the
again.
just gotta turn it
you
into a creative energy. I tell a lot of women who like they always tell me like, I just be so horny all the time. Well, anytime you horny, start painting. I don't know what you do.
Yep.
Sing a song,
Because
write
that
in a book.
definitely
hey
creative energy. And
Right.
Yes,
yes,
It's
that's
you could use
so
it.
essential
Go
for
use it.
creative energy. Don't get it
can.
twisted.
I tell
They
them
done took sexual energy and made it into something, but it's really creative energy.
it is.
you
It
know
is.
what the
Yeah,
thing
you
is
gotta.
I
is
believe
that
sex magic.
Hold on,
I'm sorry.
Jazzy.
Go ahead.
oh I just wanted to say, you know
I
what
was gonna
it
stop.
really does? You know what it really does? It goes ahead and it takes you away from yourself.
Yeah. I was
Yes.
sex magic too, and it does not mean that you got to go have sex with different people. You have sex with yourself, and while you at that place of your highest orgasm, that's when you should be thinking about and visualizing who you want to be, what you want to, what is,
Using the energy.
because that's the whole
Utilize it.
entire energy.
But it can be a mental sex. It doesn't even have to be physical.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Just as pleasureful.
You have to
But
learn.
we so
And you
used
getting
to please
downloads from the
this.
spirit.
We gotta
This
please
is
our
where
flesh. What y'all say? What
th-
look good, feel good, sound
the,
good, smell
Tastes
good.
good.
that's what I
Yeah.
was just
That's
about
what
to
we
say.
doing.
This is where we got that from. Is because of those five senses, and it's each one of them has an addiction. So what happens is
Sugar.
just like we call it sugars. So it's like everything that look good, that sound good, that smell good, that feel good, and that tastes good. All of those things are your gateways that can go ahead. And if you indulge in too much of any one of those, you'll be a spiritual diabetic coma. You know what I'm saying?
Where is
So
balance come in
yeah,
at? That's that fine line we gotta walk. So
so that's
But no one's
exactly where we
taught the
came
other
up with that from.
side. We're only taught
we only
to
taught one
indulge
side.
in what looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good, smells good.
And then
I don't
after
know.
that,
I'm older than you. Me and Jazz used to know. They used to tell us back in the day that if you talk to yourself, you was crazy.
well
They used to
they can't
really
say
tell
that
people
too
that.
much now. I say that out openly. I talk to myself all the time. It's a matter of fact, I talk to myself so much I bought a journal and started writing to myself. I
There it is.
don't play.
There it is.
I don't
We're just
That's
saying
the
the
whole thing.
level of training or indoctrination into what religion. None of us were Christians, Catholics. 7-day event that was all pushed on us. No one came out the womb saying I want to be a Christian, a Muslim. None of that. If we were over in China, we'd be Zennism. If we were down
or
in South
Buddhist.
America, we'd be Orisha. If we were over in Saudi Arabia, we'll be Muslim. It's the place we're at that dictates because that's part of the control.
Hey,
Right,
and you
that's
know what
part of
that
that.
the 5 Ps. Remember, I told the powers of the crescent moon cycle, people. Listen up good. The 5 Ps is how they control the world: philosophy, psychology, the pineal gland, meaning the prison, polytheism, and politics. Those 5 things they control the whole world with because they can actually say who is a criminal, who isn't a criminal, what is right thinking, what is wrong thinking, what is his story, meaning some shit we made up for you to believe, than our story. Everybody knows that Christopher Columbus didn't discover America. It's a fact. But they still teaching in elementary schools.
you,
The
you
fuck are we
know
talking
you
They
about?
took
you
What
slavery
are we
know
out the
talking about?
books in
So if
elementary.
they can lie like that, how worse can they lie? I'm sorry, Ms. Desi, go ahead.
I said, but they took slavery out the books in elementary
Oh
schools.
yeah.
Fact, like it didn't happen. This is what I'm trying to
Yeah.
tell you.
Yeah. Hmm.
hey,
Oh, you know
so
what the
you got to
crazy
look.
thing is? This totally off topic, but it's so on topic. I was talking to AI because I like to keep AI updated on history because they be acting like they don't know better. And I had said something to AI about the William Lynch letter, and she was like, "Oh, that is a supposed letter." I was like, "No, ma'am. This
Oh.
letter was a real thing. A
Supposed
supposed
letter.
letter. Who? Who? Oh,
And
this is
that's
what they
that's what
teaching
I
you
mean.
too?
This is where I agree with Jazz. And this is what I mean when I say it's happening. It's not happening all at one time, but it's happening in waves.
It
Like there's
is. No, I
news
agree with
about
you.
waves. And that whole AI thing, eventually teachers aren't going to be needed. The kids are going to be taught at home. You're going to put your AI on, and whatever the hell that thing tell you that's been programmed to
Uh-oh.
tell or teach
They
kids,
teaching it to
that's
your
what
Confirmation
it's going to be.
time.
kids.
Guess
It's
They
what,
all
Miss
teaching it.
Jim?
flowing at this pace right now. It's just like the
Mhm.
internet. We didn't
Miss
expect the
Jim.
internet to be this big, where
Miss
this is how
Jim,
we
it's
communicate on.
already happening. I
It is.
work
They
with a
learning fortune.
facility
AI
for
is learning real
juveniles.
time
They're
stats. It is.
learning on computer virtually.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All of the teacher do is just monitor the computer.
Yeah.
Bullshit you not. What you just said was about to happen. Oh no, love. It's on and
Oh,
popping
I
right
know it's
now.
happening, but it's not
No,
happening
but
at
she's
a
saying
mass
she's
Oh, at
at
a
a
large
mass
amount.
no,
level.
that's what it's
Until
gonna
Right.
I
move
get to
to.
that place
Hmm.
where that's public school education. You get what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
When
They
it's
still
getting to
got it.
that place, it's gonna be there very
And they
soon.
can teach you anything they want.
Mhm.
It's gonna get there real soon, and the reason we know that is because the advances that they making in AI. Because I follow them, because it's something that I was like, I'm gonna invest in this,
Yes. Yes.
because
Hey,
it's trending. It's trending toward put your investment in now because we on the ground level. But what's making all of this happen is the advancements that they're having within quantum mechanics. So they tell us there are maybe we're just receiving this information correctly, right? But quantum mechanics, they were able to photo quantum entanglement. They able to understand superposition just a little bit more. Actually, they're and what we when a proton was aware of itself, we couldn't take a picture of it. Now they've learned how to take a picture of it. So now they can study it just a little more to understand. So it's gonna start moving fast. What they just said is AI is learning currently 4 times faster than the average human is learning. So for us, what you talking about, I think the way I'm feeling is it's gonna fail before we ever see what's about to happen, simply
I gotta
because
plug my
our
phone up.
economy currently is on a downtrend. We're headed towards bankruptcy already. We only
Yep.
currently function off of fiat money. The US American dollar is a monopoly. Who backed the dollar? We do. If everybody did what homeless people do, we would be in a better state. We would be in a better economy. We would understand. We would be able to give back to the earth that we use currently to make things better, to elevate our position. Antarctica is currently unfreezing. They're worried about the water levels. We talking about what the ocean finna do, how it's finna rise. It's a lot of shit that's happening.
That's
And I
happening.
can't.
It's
Huh?
happening. It's all
Yeah,
happening. But it's like
absolutely.
if you
Right
aren't,
now.
yeah, if you're not aware, or if you are distracted by all these things that we talking about, you got the social media, all of this shit that's programmed
Absolutely.
you to be distracted, because people who are elite or they have the money to this type of information, they're not sharing this information. No,
Yeah.
they got little bunkers under their house. That's why they got you. Have you been seeing the more and more of those bunkers that people are
Yeah.
building under their homes? Because they know what's to come. It's
They know
just the
what's
average
coming.
Hey,
person
See,
has
I,
but it's all for naught. It's all for naught. They
But that's why
plan
I
this.
say
The more they try to make shit and suck the earth dry, the
it's
more they
gonna
try
give
to
them what they
prevent
looking
what's
for.
happening.
see
They're actually making it
technology.
happen. Listen, they're actually making it happen quicker. They're
It's gonna kick
bringing
back.
what to come because of the actions they're doing to try to stop what's to come.
total
Absolutely.
reset.
Volcanoes starting to
Bro, this
erupt.
is
Look
the
at what
spirit,
happened at
nigga. Everything
Yellowstone.
that's going on right now has already happened in the heavens above us. Shit is
I told
played
you.
out 3, 4 times. It's just getting down to where we're at. Don't get it twisted. That's why they say there's nothing new under
New
the
under the
sun.
You
sun.
understand?
Okay, don't get it
Absolutely.
Hey,
twisted. We keep
Nothing
thinking
I,
new.
that our era or this conscious time zone is the shit. It is not. It's one of the weakest.
hey, I want to.
But go
I
ahead.
want to. I want now. Check it out. This just me thinking.
Uh
Just me to myself. Okay, so
huh.
you
Disclaimer.
have, huh?
That's a disclaimer. Go ahead.
Yeah. Disclaimer. This is just my thoughts. Okay, so you look at it as far as like, where a lot of people are worrying about like stuff that on this physical plane, whether it's race, gender, what you believe, how much money you make, all of these things, right? So you got to look at it like, okay, United States is run by our government. You got Africa that's run by their government.
Several
You got
governments.
yeah, you got Canada. You got all of these different countries and everything, right? Somebody is still at the top that's going ahead and saying, I want you to do this, 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 this. And no matter which way you live. So we worrying about the simple things as far as like religion, if you're a boy, if you're a girl, if you're
Nothing.
black or if you're white, it means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. If you look at the whole bigger picture, because Russia can't come over here and say, okay, we're going to take this land and you're going to pay taxes. You know what I'm saying? So it, it's a bigger picture than what we worrying about who's going to win the election.
I don't
Who's in
care.
it,
I don't
And
give a
then I'm
damn.
taking
who.
a
I
step
don't even
further.
vote,
It's
so
even
I
bigger
wouldn't
than
even be
the
able to
earth.
tell you. Y'all would think me
So,
ignorant. I do not vote. I will. I refuse. I do not. I do not participate in society. I cannot. I wait.
so
But
it's
You
like,
and me both, love.
it starts off with those
I
little things
never voted.
like,
No, I think I
like,
me,
tried to vote one time for Obama.
I ain't even try to vote for him. I ain't vote for him either.
You know, this spiritual thing is like it starts with the little things. Like first of all, like we all been saying, it takes what a change of mind. How whatever changed your mind for you to go ahead and say, look, I need to invest in me. You know, me first. I love me first, and everything else is a reflection of. But it took something. But the whole thing about it is just that it's so vast. I mean, and once you start to do that, it takes
It has
those little things. Yeah, it takes those little things like what Miss Jim was saying is like take all of y'all get off social media, you know, and that's I told you, remember mental and Miss Desi,
That's
I
what you
asked
said
y'all
he
to
had
do
to
it.
do. I
I've
had to
been
get off
asking
social
y'all.
media for a week.
I've been asking, you know, like that's one of the things we doing because you know what, you'll be able to see things a lot more clearly because you
so
get
much.
more downloads. You know what I'm saying? You be. It's the fasting, the giving up. You know what I'm saying? For our earthly desires, something that's going to build us spiritually, and I believe that.
What you
I
just
believe that.
giving up
I
something,
know that. I
you
know that.
have to give up something.
There
There's
you
sacrifice
go.
in everything. And then I like to agree with you, like self-preservation is the first rule of nature. Like trees, the first thing they do is in order for them to preserve energy, they get rid of old dead leaves. They just shed leaves, branches
Mhm.
too. And they soak up whatever water or minerals that they can through their roots. And it's the same thing with I tell my ladies all the time, when y'all get off of social media, when you feel that, because your body is, it's almost like when you get off of drugs, your body just go all crazy. It's the same
Mhm.
thing with social media. You get off social media, you're gonna see how many times you pick up your phone. I want you to
Mhm.
document.
Yeah. Yes.
Document how many
Mm.
I
times
do it all
you
the
get that
time.
urge to pick up your phone and get on Facebook. Document
Hmm.
that. Because what you're doing is you're not only just, taking data for yourself, but then what you're going to do is you're going to look at that data and say, okay, how out of alignment am I with controlling my flesh? Because that's really what it is. You have to control your flesh in order to even the knowledge that we're being able to speak about, be able to understand that. That's the first thing. You really got to get in a space of controlling your flesh because you can't help nobody, let alone yourself, if you have no control over your flesh and what you are giving your energy to, because that's really, you're giving out energy every single day. Some days you don't need to do that. Some days you need to preserve your energy. Some days you need to sit in silence so that you can download, get those downloads, and then you'll know where you need to be a power source at. So I agree with you 100% on that.
That's what. That's why a lot of times where like you see so much potential, and some people be like, "Man, you have so much power if you just realize." But you know what the thing is? You can't realize or get to that space unless you take time and space to get to yourself to know, like you
Right.
said, where you have control over certain things. Because you can have all the power in the world, but you'll be useless if you don't know how to use it.
Yep. If
Can I
everybody's
ask
pulling from
y'all? Have y'all, I don't know, Mental or Jazz or even you, Miss Jim, if y'all heard the recordings of the raw contact, the raw material, the Law of
no,
One?
no, no,
So
no.
what is it?
It's called the raw contacts. It's like
The
Mm-mm.
the
law of
deity
one.
in the Egyptian Ra, the Law of One.
Oh, Ra. Yes, I know about Ra, but
Right.
I never
Okay. I
heard
thought you
about
said
Okay.
what
rock.
you're speaking of.
No, no.
The law of
There's a
one.
recording, the Law of One. This is what they talk about, and it's a group. They call themselves Ra,
Okay.
and they say that they did have something to do with the deity, the Egyptian deity, and also Aten, who
Sun
was,
God? When you say Ra,
yep,
you
the
talking about
sun god Aten. They said that they were also depicted as the sun god Aten as well. They said this is the two times that they appeared to Egyptian pharaohs. And then they also talked about how we if y'all get time to watch it, it'll really tie into all of this stuff that y'all talking about. How we say, like, at the core we're unconditioned. This is your infinite beings, your all of these things, what the book of knowledge is talking about. It goes over all of these things. There was 3 tape recorders. They only were able to salvage one. It's 106 sessions, and I'm telling you, the moment you start to deep dive into it, it's going to explain everything. This is where they talk about the pyramids. They talk about the shape of the pyramids. They talk about how what we call the law of free will, they would consider the law of confusion. So like it's just a lot of different things that come into play this. So and if y'all listen to all of it, it'll help you understand. Like they was like, you do not have to be aware of the law of free will to access the infinite and the intelligent infinite. Is an intelligent infinite
And you
basically.
know what?
Is in the
This
conscious.
just popped in my head as you were speaking. Okay,
Okay.
because entered into spirituality. I, was a Christian first, and it just made me think about when God had Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, and He did not want them to eat from the tree of knowledge. And it's just like what you just said about the free will thing, like the law of free will and being able, do what we want to do. I wonder if God kind of knew that. It just made me think of that. Like, I wonder if God knew that these people would know everything that I know and they had this free will, would they just be confused and chaotic? And you look at today, it's just something that made me
Well,
wonder.
you got to remember the key was
It just made me think.
who. What did God say when He talked to them? Because they were covering up. Who told you you were naked?
Who told you
My
that?
They
first
had
that's my
insight
first podcast.
into self, back into self. Not
Yeah.
anyone else, not anything else going around. And they realized that, wait a minute, Cain killed Abel. Cain had to move, had to go over to the
But
land of
had they
Nod.
not eaten
And
from
then
the
he said,
tree, they
and then he said, wait a minute, there's other gods over there. They'll kill me. Wait a minute, other gods? Wait a minute, what you talking? Yeah, because the Adam and Eve story was one of 5 creation stories in the Bible. Just one of 5 of a
But it's the
replenishing.
same, but it speak to the same representation. Even in the Bible, where they talk about turning you over to a reprobate mind, this is the your law of free will of figuring it out, figuring shit out for yourself.
yourself,
Even in the
right?
Bible, where they talk about where he excommunicated us for 400 fucking years. Do you understand what I'm saying? Fuck
Yeah.
it, figure it out. You go do it.
Since
You
y'all
go do
know
the work,
in everything, y'all
huh?
figure it out. But
Yeah.
Well, we all
it made me
know that
think.
the only thing we need is at the end of our fingertips. Everything is already in us to do whatever we need to do right
But
now.
the understanding of that, you were taught how to forget that.
Facts.
But that's what I
And
was
so
just saying
now you're
earlier.
building on top of the you're coming in and listen, what mental always talks about is how you already have access to the knowledge that we're
Mhm.
speaking of. Whether you know it or not, you already have access to it. And what
Just
the Bible, even the
remembering.
Bible talk about how you're given a gift without repentance. It don't matter what the fuck you do with it. You still
Mhm.
got the gift. How you operate
Mhm.
it is on you. Where you got
It's on you.
empaths, where they're talking about how you got a dark empath, and this person will manipulate you, they'll gaslight you, they'll do whatever they need to do to get what the fuck they want to get up out of you. But then you'll have somebody that's on the other side, and they'll be like, well, I can give you this $20, but if I do, then I won't have any gas in the morning. But I'm gonna give it anyway. So and you got those type of people. You got them who take them to 2 different extremes, which is why we always talk about balance. Create the balance. Once you
Yes.
figure out how to walk, this is what a boundary is. Let me stay
Mhm.
within the border that I understand, so that I do know how to invest in me first, so I have enough for me. I'm not just giving to you. And it talks about all of this. Like I want to give you knowledge, but I can't because you're too closed off to the knowledge that I have because of the limitations that you've already set in your mind body complex. You must first master your
And that's
mind
who
to
we've been
master your body
programmed.
to reach
I'm
your
gonna listen
spiritual in the
to it.
first place.
I'm gonna listen to it
Please,
this week at work.
share that. Share that what you are talking about, the law of one. I wanna know more. Like,
I'm definitely,
I
I'll
can get
send it.
that
I'll
information,
definitely
but
send
It's
you.
basically a video version of the keys that we're reading. It's talking about the same
Absolutely.
exact stuff. It's just a,
It is.
a, a video version because when we read it's so much that has to be digested and manifested that it's just almost impossible for the average person that has not
So
been
they get it in
indoctrinated
context.
into the spirit. You know what I'm saying? Saying that. So listen, in the motion of going into the new image, the new semitude, we're going to this new heavens and new earth, the respatialization into a greater vibration, right? This can be seen in the terms of a field of intelligence opening the sky, calling for the chemical part of creation into a new intelligence, which is to go into the next ordering of evolution. But this is not a physical judgment or a physical doom or a physical odyssey, which many Orthodox tradition would apply. In contrast, it speaks to the spirit, the awakening of man. In this present period of his conscious time zone, he can understand that the mind of light, conscious L light, which can program and be reprogrammed instantly. So it's saying wherever we're at, we can always be instantly reprogrammed back into the mind of light, back into our conscious body,
Absolutely.
anywhere at any time. So we don't have to even worry about what's going on out here if the world is about to be destroyed. None of that matters to us. We can move on when we have to.
Absolutely.
Basically,
You
is
gotta
what it's
want
saying.
to. That
You
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
want to.
you
Now,
gotta
if you're
want it.
stuck to what looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good, smells good, you gonna get what it gets, and that's destruction. It's decay. You gotta choose the higher realm. You gotta choose higher thought. You gotta choose to forgive, to have loyalty, to have respect. Okay, to be caring, to be empathetic. That's a choice. And not only that, it has to be made every single time.
Yep. Yep. And that's the
You
choice.
can't, every time.
And that's the
You
choice.
can't even skip it. If you don't want to do it, you ain't gonna do it.
Yep.
Mhm.
And that's what and that's that's what makes it hard for a lot of people because there's one word that I didn't hear you use, discipline. Again,
Absolutely.
Discipline. That
it
should
come
have been
back
number
to
one.
controlling the flesh to want
That
to
should have
Yeah.
been
choose
number
that
one
and then having the discipline to do it.
to
Because
do
it's
it.
easy for
Yeah.
me to get angry and
That's
act out on that anger. It's a whole nother thing to be angry and say, I'm going to control my anger and I'm going to handle you with a kind heart, even
Yeah.
though I don't want to.
But
And,
you remember, we got to
and
go
so
back.
that's
It's
why
a
I put
part of
it on.
me.
Huh? What you say?
We got to go back that that's a part of you. You're only talking to yourself. You only mad at yourself. Don't be mad at yourself. You know something? I'm going to let you go, bro.
Yep. It's
Whatever
a
you do,
mirror.
it's okay.
It's a
You're
but
mirror.
good. I ain't getting mad
that's
with you.
It's
that goes
definitely,
back to what we said earlier about, like, like when you was thanking those people and everybody, it's still a
yeah.
part
Yep.
of you.
Because they
You know what I'm
showed
Part
me
of
saying?
a
you.
It's the
part of
same thing.
that was no longer, it was conflicting with who I was trying to become. And
Hmm.
so
Yeah.
it's the same thing for anybody. I feel like that's like one of the biggest things when anybody starts on their spiritual journey is you got to not place blame elsewhere outside of you. You got to look within first, like, well, what's going on with
Absolutely.
me? Why am I
As
changing
within,
so
so
fast
without.
Yeah.
or so quickly and
Absolutely.
things aren't, they're not what used to be so fun and giving to me that I felt fulfilled in. I'm no longer feeling fulfilled or it's not fun anymore. Like, what's up with me? But people don't do that. And
Yeah.
that's in the work that I do, that's my frustration a lot, that I have to remember that I was once that way. Mentally, I was once that way.
Yep.
And you
So
got to remember, everyone plays their role. They playing their part for you.
yes,
For you.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say that. It come back to me where I have to be like, I have to adjust how I interact with people or how I interact with my clients, really, because I have to see myself in them. I do, and I
There
feel
you
That's
go.
like
a
people like us who have certain wisdom and insight, we have to meet people where they are. We have to, like, in order for us to be a part of this new earth and helping people be able to transition and understand it, we got to meet them, unfortunately, but fortunately, where they are, because then that's how we continue to grow and elevate
Absolutely.
and evolve. Because if we're only talking to people
Yeah.
like us who already know what we know, and we're on trajectory of our journey, but we're not reaching back out to the folks that our challenge for us, that's going to be, it's like, what good does this knowledge and this wisdom that we have acquired, what does it even mean?
it's more precious than gold.
Right.
You know what I'm
I
saying? And
think
that's the whole
Priceless.
thing. Is so. I mean, why wouldn't you want to go ahead and if somebody? But they have to be willing, though.
They have to
You
be
know what
with.
I'm saying? They have to be
yeah.
willing, because the one thing you can go ahead and have all the patience and try to meet them in the world, and they to their understanding, and they still just, you know what I'm saying? But there's a distinction between that. So if they are willing, and that's, we you're responsible once you know. So
Yeah.
that's one of the things. It's just that now that you know, and that's the whole thing, is what our daily walk is, to learn to say that I'm just trying to be more responsible. You know what I'm saying? And by being more responsible as a person, that's walking in love. You know what I'm saying? And then that's where people go ahead and get that effect. What we talk about is you love yourself, where they go ahead and because they get a piece of that by in exchange with automatically. You know what I'm saying? So I agree. But it starts with love. You know, it
Yeah.
starts with love.
I think that's
Everything
what I
does.
tell a lot of people, that you really gotta figure out where you really want to be. And a lot of people will tell me like, well, I'm forever changing. I'm like, well, your mind can never focus. You can't focus on one point. If infinity is what you chasing and all you focused on is infinity, you're gonna find infinity. That's all I'm saying. So like, if it's that, then you'll understand that type of level of thinking. I think we
What you
really
think
just gotta
I
about the
think a
most
lot of
is who
people
you
are
are,
actually,
right?
a lot of
What you
people
think
are
about
waking
all the
up,
time is who you are.
Hmm?
and I
Go
think
ahead,
a
man.
lot of
I'm so sorry.
no,
I
you
said
have
what you. I was saying
I'm gonna
what you
have to
said.
get
What
ready
you
to
think
go,
about
guys.
all. Okay, okay. We're probably gonna
I
wrap up too. But
thank you for letting me be a part of today's podcast. I really appreciate it, and I hope I could come back.
not a
anytime.
problem. You already
Hey,
know.
so get it. Leave the people something to know where they can find your services and everything before you go.
Oh, absolutely. Again, hi guys. I'm Leslie King. I go by Pretty Gem on Facebook, literally how it's spelled, Pretty Gem. You can find my website at www.prettyandspiritual.com, prettyandspiritual.com. Also on Instagram, Pretty and Spiritual. And I hope to connect with you all and be able to have more dialogue like this, and just whatever. All my services are on my website. You can check it out. I do have a book club every month. We read a new book. This month we'll be reading the book What You Think You Become. And it's gonna be fun being able to talk about that. But I see you got a book here too, so
That
I'm gonna
might be
check that
nice,
book
dude.
out too.
Maybe I can go ahead and do your book and your thing.
That's
Mental
my
book.
Yeah.
book, Overstanding Darkness.
Okay. Okay. Yes, and I'm an author as well. You can get
Okay.
my books on Amazon. I have a self-love workbook that I created myself that I have right here. So check that out on Amazon for
Oh,
my
I like
baby
that.
self-love book. Tons of activities for you to do. It's designed for 60 days. So if you just start on a Sunday fresh and you just work through it for those next 60 days, I guarantee you will see a huge difference in who you are moving forward in life. So I just want to leave y'all
Uh,
with that. Thank you. And I'm grateful to be on here with you all today. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
I just
You.
want to let you know, Miss Pretty Jim, I did send you a friend request, and I sent the link that you asked about in the chat. So if you check the chat before you leave, you'll be able to grab that. And if you okay, I'll connect with you.
Sharon
Yes.
and Karen. Sharon
Yes.
and Karen.
Yes. All right. I love y'all. One love.
Love you too.
Peace.
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 Wow. Just gets better and better, y'all. So, I mean,
You got to oh, there you go. I was just telling her she had to
going back to the rabbit hole. So, we were just talking about how the awakened man in this present period of consciousness time zone will understand how the mind of the conscious light, which can be programmed and reprogrammed instantly. The mind of the man will be moved off the spatial dimension, ye literally out of the three-dimensional light codification upon the earth into a higher sanctification of conscious light, where he'll be one with the threshold by virtue of its transfiguration. The higher Adamic appearance can be seen in the corporal nature of the prophets of light, who will be not only be sent into the next ordering of intelligence, but will take with them the righteous community of light. So basically, it's talking about there'll be this whole mental, spiritual energy thing going on. And for us that can tap in, it'll be like in the Bible, and some was taken and some were left behind. And some was taken and some was left behind. Just like
it's
that.
happening now. Yeah, that
All
happens
right.
now.
It's just letting you know, man. It's letting you know that shit is happening. What does it say that? The physical body can have a light field put around it and be taken into any dimension of higher intelligence desires. That's what happened to Enoch. They put his original body of light, his higher self, around his lower self. That's the higher dimension pyramid around the lower dimension pyramid, which forms the Star of David, our Merkaba, which is our spiritual spaceship. Put it around so he can go all through this. We have that same energy, that same power. That's in us. Now it's going to get crazy. Listen to this. Uh-oh. Listen to this. The higher mind face of the Father's universes, rejoices in the Son's universes. The children of light, capital L light, conscious light, on all planetary worlds have a phase of light generation already working through them. So it creates a step functions that are in phase with the prototype of the Adam Cadman, so that their human body and their divine body unite into one body of glory. What I just said before. I didn't even know I was about to read it. Same thing. Okay? So it's letting you know, don't worry about shit. You have nothing to worry about. Death is the best thing, because when we die, we go back to our original self, back to our higher self, if we want to. If not, we'll do another return back down here, because we didn't learn everything we needed to learn. You got to
That's when your
remember, we're in the
superpowers kick
infinite
in.
and the eternal. So it doesn't matter how long our journey is down here. We're going back to everlasting life regardless.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's no worry once again. So then it goes on. It says, the step function phase with Adam Cadman. So the human body puts on a divine body united in the body of glory. Thus, the five bodies of motion are gathered into the Christos, so that the elect can reign with the Christ energy. The elect who are chosen to go into higher worlds in the transfigured bodies of light, capital L light, still you're in a body, now it's just a higher phase of energy body of light, are allowed to put on the Zohar body of intelligence and indwell in the Father's universe. So not only can we move off the realm of space and time and going through universe, the galaxy, the solar system, we can move all the way up into a whole nother phase of overstanding that we can't even comprehend here in the Father's universe. This grand thing that we keep calling space and time with all these stars and suns and stuff. All right, it keeps going on. Those within the Father's universe rejoice in the continually serving the Uawave, the infinite mind, the infinite light, who gives living gods, who is the living God behind all creator gods. For Uawave is the mind of all gods in all universes. Here we go again, that infinite and the eternal. Connected to where? We said it before, to a brain cell in Miss Desi's mind, in your brain. That brain cell can be activated from the infinite and eternal to give you whatever you need.
Yeah.
It is very difficult to comprehend this without being visited by a higher ascended master of light, or realizing this through many, many years of becoming one with the scriptures of light. That's what happened to me. I just had to keep reading and reading and reading, but shit, y'all ain't got to do it because it's already in you. The spirit, once it talks to you, that spirit of truth talks to you, you have an open communication with the infinite and eternal. That piece of you, that God in you, that Pino, that everything starts opening up. All you got to do is do the work, do the following, whatever you need to do. God is life, and there are many gods because there are many universes. But Uawave is the infinite mind coordinating all of the universes as they shape the mental patterns which allow infinite scales of evolution to occur. Why is this so important? It's talking about evolution, Earth-like planets. One universe contains what 7,777,777,777,777 galaxies. One galaxy has 700,777,777,777,000 solar systems, and every solar system can have life. So this is how huge this thing is. All right. Evolution will inherit its parent body of light when the universe is judged its alpha make a spectrum as to whether it is chemically prepared to go on to the next wavelength or valency. This occurs on the day of graduation or judgment will overtake our chemistry. This is on that day they're talking about a new earth in a new heaven. This is what's going to happen. The Lords of Light
Mental.
know that there will always be given dimensions of earth experimentations in darkness because the life forces are constantly being tested within the Earth's sun. There will always be physical life stations like Earth used as testing zones for thought forms of higher evolution and advancing in the many realms of intelligence in accordance with the Father's plan of creations of new world. Species evolution on this planet can only evolve so far because the present Earth cycle was created as a result of a fallen thought form that requires redemptive thought form of a new legion of light that shall be placed around the planet when the Christ energy offers up the planet to the Father. So earthling man is presently in a fallen dimension of light, which is in a realm of spatial darkness. We
Mental.
have to have a higher level, a higher light reprogramming that synchronizes the Father's universe to the Son's universe and the Son's universe to the Mother's universe or the Spirit's universe. This is
Mental.
why we all out here bad and all this shit is going on. This is why everything seems so messed up. Go ahead, Jazzy. My bad, bro.
I gotta get ready to take off too. Miss Desi, your show tonight, 8 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
Tell the people. I just want to because I gotta sign off. Because I got some things to do before
Yeah, we
get up there.
almost. I was about to close it at that anyway because this is a
Okay.
long chapter.
Okay. Miss Desi, tell us something about
Okay.
tonight.
So tonight I am, of course, interviewing my mother, and this one is called what is this one? Scorched by Fire, but Still Magnificent, and it's a journey of transformation with Latanya. That is my mom, and so we just talk
All
about
right.
her struggle with people pleasing, drug abuse, how she started her own business, going through the murder of her daughter, all of these things. So we just putting it in a podcast. And if you're interested in listening to the struggles of people and learning how they develop themselves, then my podcast is definitely the podcast for you. So absolutely. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you
Thank
for
you
coming.
very much. Go ahead, Jazzy.
Okay, I just want to say, hey, I love y'all both. I got to get ready to take off. My nights are. It seemed like it's harder now because I'm working morning, so I shut down. I got to have certain things done by a certain time. It's called discipline. Or I'll be turned into a
Discipline.
pump.
Facts.
Or turn into a pumpkin in the morning. Uh, so
Well,
all
I
right,
just
so
want everyone to remember that there's more things we should be thinking about, different levels, higher spiritualities. We're going through these phases for a reason because we're reaching different levels of higher spirit. All
Mhm.
right. So the book of knowledge, the keys of Enoch is just demonstrating how high. And remember, we just getting we're almost halfway through the Father's universe. Then you got the sons. Then you got the basic builder. This is how hard or how high the science goes. Don't just be concerned about what's going on next week. Only be concerned about what's happening today. Take the time to look inside yourself and bring the best you out no matter what happens. Everybody is a reflection of you. Everything is there for you. Every hardship, every heartbreak, every laugh for you because you paid attention to it. Peace and love. Thank you, bro, for coming on again, Jazzy, Miss Desi, Miss Jem. Peace.
peace.